Alright. Hi guys. Sick as hell. Give me a sec. Alright. If my voice sounds like I'm dead as shit. Oh wow, I already demonetized the stream. But if I sound like I'm dead as hell, it's cause I'm sick for like the past 2 weeks almost. I've been busy the entire month. I was supposed to upload videos recently, but that never happened because of stuff. And I was supposed to upload it this week. Never really worked out. I think we're okay. This is Southeast Asia. We should go NAEU first. I'm not sure if anyone's watching. Let me see if the stream is working. Let me see the audio. I am very low energy. I wouldn't even say low energy. I'm trying my best to keep my energy as high as possible. But I'm just so sick, man. I'm quite sick. But I still wanted to, I don't know, I might make this like into a video later down the line. Maybe I'll edit this into a video. God damn, this stream is ass. Can I make this landscape? I cannot. I mean, I guess there it is. Alright. So, wait, I actually start with, NAEU, I did say. Wait, let's start with the brackets. Let's go to the brackets. NAEU. I think it's this one. Oh, wait, no, this is Southeast Asia. Okay. NAEU, let's talk about it. I'll start first by saying that, wow, so many teams on B4U's bracket got screwed. Because I think if they were all on the other side of the bracket, they had good contention to actually win the entire thing and qualify. But they just ended up in B4U's bracket. This is now the second time, or this is the third time, sorry, that Omni as well has dodged B4U, which I don't know how to keep doing it, but they just did it again. So there's that. But okay, early predictions. If you want it straight on, because we're talking about Koa, right? So I'm sure everyone wants to know what do I think? Who do I think is gonna win? Yeah, it's gonna be B4U and probably Globe. I think the top bracket's a bit tougher. Yeah, Amy and B4U as a first matchup is diabolical, bro. It is the format is genuinely unfair. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I wish both IVC... I saw, but, like, Southeast Asia somehow worse. So let me get into Southeast Asia real quick. FT versus GH on the first one. And then winner will probably go up against AR, because I don't see AL winning against AR. Like, you have 3 teams that were favorites to qualify. And 2 of them are going to get cut because they were all on the same bracket. Unfair shit, man. Genuinely unfair that happened. Do I have audio stream? Okay, I'll show you if I have audio stream. But yeah, so much unfair stuff. So much wrong things about this format, but I'm not going to be talking too much about that. Let's just go into the rosters. So let's start first with Amy. Just about the same roster from like last Koa now, except for some changes. The main thing, of course, is iAlien still being the hunter of this team, and he's still like one of the best. Like, as long as this guy doesn't play Fool's Gold for some reason, like this team shouldn't really be like losing. The problem, of course, is the fact that this team is going against B4U first. So yeah, they ought to figure out an answer for that. So there's that. Sorry, I'm really sick. I've been sick for the past few days. I'm also checking. Like, I'm also checking my notes because I do have notes for about Koa. Also, hello. Are we not gonna address Omni Walkser? We're gonna address it. We're gonna address it when we get there. And of course, before you, same roster as before. Differences, of course, Skyfall no longer coach. It's Aaron once again. And I'm a bit worried, but not really. The reason I'm a bit worried is because, and I'm gonna get this more into when we talk about Omni, actually. The reason I'm mainly worried is because I think one of the main reasons why B4U had an amazing run in IVS is because the meta at the time did not have a lot of camp hunters. To be fair, it's still kind of the case, but now you have both peddler and like of course you have bonbons as well now to like worry about. We don't see a lot of bonbons in NA, at least from my knowledge, but peddler. What I've seen so far, NA loves peddler, so we might see that come around. Um, if that had existed in IVS, not entirely sure if B4U would be going as hard of a run as they were, because seemingly I think the weak point of B4U had always been the rescues, especially once they brought Leon in to bolster that kite even more. And also Aaron, I mean, he's a good coach, um, but he's made some really weird decisions over time, especially in like third round BOs, like especially when they're about to win, and he just picks composer, picks clown. I don't really know why that's happening, but yeah, I mean, there's that too. I think Skyfall is a big part of B4U's success in IVS, so of course it's still going to be something that could be a factor. But I still think, I mean, this team, for as long as Sprinter is in this team will always qualify, man. I don't know how they won't. Moving forward, I'm sick. Did I not tell you? Anyways, Bin. I actually, I mean, this team is pretty decent. I like this roster, honestly. In terms of just skill, if we're referring to skill, we're referring to potential to win. It's a solid roster. My concern maybe might be the strategies, might be the macro from this team. I think this is. I'm not sure if this is. If I'm not sure if I'm confusing it for another team. But this is, I think, one of the teams where, when I was watching it, I didn't think the issue was the fact that they were kiting bad. It's just that for some reason they kept throwing mid game. I think this was the team. I'm not entirely sure because it might be another team that I'm thinking about. But yeah, Bin. Not sure it's Bin or Bin, but they're a solid roster too. Again, the issue, of course, is like B4U is gonna be on the other side, so I'm not sure how to feel about that for this team. Next up, Globe. Okay, I love this. Okay, Globe is so the drama in Globe. I must say, some of the most. I think I mentioned it on Twitter too. It is genuinely the most xenophobic like drama I've ever heard of. But yeah, I mean Globe. I'm not sure who here is Nocturne actually. Is Nocturne in this roster? Is he not? Oh, it's NCT probably. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Globe has probably one of the best survivor cores. For sure. Maybe the best, frankly. Maybe even better than B4U, to be honest. The survivor roster of theirs. I really like it. I mean, if your best survivor is genuinely insane, and Globe has always had decent survivors, I'd say the concern had always been their hunters. I'm not sure. I know Sed came from ELV. I think Eric too. Not sure where Link. I know I've seen that guy before. I just don't remember where. But like, if Eric is their coach, these are their survivors, then I'm pretty confident this team should be good. So they should be fine. I think they're the favorites to qualify from the upper bracket, which, if you don't, the upper bracket is GB, USL, Omni, Prototype. Which now, KON, the only thing I can say about this team is, yeah, NCT. Nocturne is the strongest survivor we've ever seen. From any EU, probably. I mean, not entirely sure. Maybe it's just pure glazing right now, but at least that's how it feels like with his rank. But going back, KON, of course, my main concern here isn't even the survivors. Survivors are pretty decent. It's the hunter. Ching is a good hunter, but the last time I've seen this guy compete, he was playing Wax Artists, first round. So not entirely sure how that's gonna work. But yeah, they should probably figure something out if this team wants to win, especially in this bracket against B4U, Amy, and BIN. Yeah, I mean, depends on what Ching is maining. I'm not updated too much on him anymore, in terms of his hunter pool, so maybe things have changed a lot ever since. So there's that. Omni. Okay, I don't know. Okay, let's address the two elephants in the room, because seemingly there are multiple elephants in the room. The first one, Woxer. Who is Woxer, man? Who is this guy? The second, why is Pit in Survivor? Like, I don't understand. Now, first off, I'll make the claim. Okay, I'll make the claim. A lot of people are underestimating Killer Boss. Killer Boss is a decent hunter. All right. It actually makes a lot of sense. Omni was making already a shift to having Killer Boss round 1, round 2, and then Pit Stoppers round 3. And it was okay. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I also don't think it was that problematic. But I don't think they should be removing Pit Stoppers in the hunter role, no? That's why I'm not so confident about Omni right now. I mean, probably Pit is not playing Survivor, actually. But, like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Hello, by the way. Hello to everyone. But yeah, I don't know. Why is Pit Stoppers in Survivor? If anyone could give me an answer, please, bro. We need to know. We need to know the answer to this. And also, I think, by the way, like, so much changes from Omni since, like, Koa 8, was it? And they still haven't gotten a good rescuer. Which is also, this was the concern I had for B4U. That, like, now that the meta has, like, Peddler, now that there might be more incentives to play, like, Bon, maybe Hala might be free because of the nerfs, that rescuing is going to be a big part of winning games. And that was B4U's biggest weakness that didn't really get exploited in a meta back in IVS where that wasn't the case. But this meta is different, and especially since Omni's first matchup is against Prototype, which I should be in the next one. I believe. Oh wait, no. It's actually, I think it was Bin that has Fafa now. But any team that has camp hunters can seriously screw over some of these teams. Anyways, Prototype, Numer Psyche, pretty well known. Not entirely sure about the rest of the players here. Not entirely sure of this roster at all, and frankly. I'm not too well known. I don't know this roster too well, unfortunately. Give me a sec though. Wait, let me just. Okay. Anyways, Prototype. I'm fixing something right now, but Prototype. I mean. Still think Omni should be winning against them, but I mean, who knows? Definitely not sure about this roster. I'm not. I think it's one of the rosters that I really have no clue what to feel about, rather. But I mean, a lot of people know Numer and Psyche. I think they're content creators. So, I mean, maybe a lot of people are, like, gonna be rooting for this team. A lot of people always root for Psyche's team, if I remember, too. But yeah, that's for NAEQ. For me, if you ask me who I think are the favorites to win, I think it's probably gonna be B4U. Just not gonna. I don't see a world where this team loses for as long as they have Spencer. I just don't. I just don't. The level difference between Spencer and the next best hunter in NAEU's just levels, man. And then Globe, because Globe has probably the best survivor roster, right? Surely, and they have a pretty decent coach. Eric is a pretty decent coach, from what I've seen. So I mean, yeah, I mean, that is NAE for you. Let's get into, however, a region that I'm more familiar of. Southeast Asia. I love Southeast Asia. Actually, I don't. So much controversy specifically in Southeast Asia for this KOA. Um, Especially since I think it was 4AW and ST, was it, that's here, and they're not supposed to be here. Um, but they are. So there's that. The reason they're not supposed to be here is because a lot of their points got deducted, apparently. I'm not entirely sure what happened since. Maybe some of those points were given back. Maybe they managed to like prove that like they weren't cheating or anything. But yeah, it caused a lot of controversy within the community. A lot of people were really frustrated. Like just a lot of stuff that happened. So I mean, this is a very controversial region right now for Call of Duty. So to start things off, and okay, now I can wait. Can I see the chat now? I just had to reset my. Okay, give me a sec. Anyways, we'll start with 4AW. I mean, this is just about the same 4AW. The only difference maybe is the hunter. It's pretty different. It's basically old ZT, right? Like this is KOA 6 ZT almost. You have MX, you have Run, you have Potato, you have CZ. Don't know who their hunter is. First time I've heard of this guy. But yeah, pretty solid roster. Actually, my favorite to win in their bracket right now because their survivor roster is really solid. 14x, yeah, yikes. I don't think this team is gonna win at all, by the way. I actually don't know who are some of these players. Like this is some of these people. I've never heard of some of these people, man. Like, okay, Marina sounds so familiar. I feel like I've seen that person in rank or something. But like, who is they? Who is guess who? Brother, I am not gonna guess who you are. Also, hello, long time. Yeah, I've been sick and busy. Like, I was busy on the first half of February, and I've been sick even till today. But, you know, it's KOA. It's KOA season. We gotta talk about KOA, right? I don't know who some of these people are. That is to really just say that I don't think this team is gonna win. No offense to them. They sound like a solid team, man. But yeah, I mean, if you have a player named 6-7, I think you deserve to lose the first match you play in. Next is AL. Shout out AL. Kishi is a good friend of mine. Kishi is a good friend of mine. We've 1v1'd every now and then. Albi as well. Me and Albi used to 1v1. Not recently though, but me at some point we 1v1'd as well. They're not gonna win, unfortunately. Great people, man. Like, or at least Kishi's a great person. Not sure about the rest. Never really talked to them. But I mean, AR, FTGH in the same bracket, man. I don't know how you would qualify. That is a tough one to like 6-7 deserves to win Koa and get MVP. No, bro. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. But AL, shout out Kishi. I wish the best for Kishi, man. Um, because I know Kishi. Man, that's all I can say. Kishi's a good player. I've heard good things about Immortal, at least as a player as well. Um, YLWT, I think, competed like 2024 IVC for like Death Horizons. So that's all I know. But I mean, they're against AR first, which we'll get into. I think it's right after this, and then they're up against. If they even win that, they then go up against whoever wins against FTGH. So like, what the hell are you supposed to do, man? Like as like even they told even Kishi told me like, damn, we are cooked, man. Well, when they gave me the brackets, they were like, damn, we're cooked. And I'm like, yeah, I can't lie, bro, you're cooked. It's a pretty cooked bracket, honestly. That bracket is so unfair. But yeah, that is AL for you guys. Please root for AL. Please root for Kishi. Yeah, tell them I sent you or something. I don't know. Aquarius next. We got two notable players here. Actually, four notable players. Not sure who ZZ is. I'm not sure if this is like Yush, new name of Yush, or like a new survivor. If it is not Yush, then I'll get into Aquarius in just a bit. But PP, who is the rescuer of Sky back then. Yuki, who Chinese players have named the Southeast Asian Persica. Skyfall isn't B4U's coach. He is competing for GH, I believe, this year. So he's not allowed to be coaching for B4U. But going back, Yuki, Southeast Asian Persica, shout out Yuki. I've also talked to Yuki every now and then. And Hessian. Hessian is a really good hunter, man. He almost got picked up by Chinese teams. So I think that's all I can give. Like that's the best compliment I can give for Hessian. He was in IVL training camp, but he was about to get picked up. Meow Pie as well is gonna be playing Survivor similarly. I guess my only concern is their fourth. They lost Shadow. Seemingly they lost Yush, unless Yush is ZZ. Which I don't think he is, frankly. And Jokra, I've seen Jokra play. Not that good, man. Definitely not on the level that some of these other players are. Because I've met some of these players in rank. Yeah, man. The skill diff is a bit high. But yeah, their fourth is a bit questionable, especially considering that even back then in IVT, right? 2025, Yao Pai was already kind of a weak link for this team. Now imagine there's going to be one player that might be worse than Yao Pai. Not entirely sure how to feel about that, to be honest. So, yeah, I mean, this team is still really good, by the way, though. I still really like this team. Still think they're going to beat AL. But I think if teams know who to chase, that could be problematic. FT, the team that seemingly everyone is talking about, Adi Kuga, Mini Blue Shadow, Sukiyaki, Xenian, and Debbie. I think we're going to be seeing Sukiyaki only. Not sure if we're seeing Xenian. Sukiyaki is from Malaysia, from what I've heard. A lot of people aren't high on FT after their IVS performance, but you gotta remember that Shadow wasn't playing for FT at the time. Just really he came back from the game after being kind of on a hiatus to sub in for FT. Kuga wasn't in their roster too, so their Survivor roster wasn't like set in stone. Like they had to make a lot of adjustments, and then X Yang was just not a good hunter. But now, I mean, if Adi is here, if Kuga is now here, if Shadow is here, like this should be still the roster to beat. I guess the only concern maybe is the hunters. I'm not too familiar of Sukiyaki. But I think this is still the roster to beat. So Yeah, FT. I mean, I'm high on FT to be honest, and I'm not even the biggest FT fan. I've been very critical about FT, actually, this entire year, but I still think this is the roster to beat, right? So, FT, there's that. Also Debbie. I don't know who Debbie is. So yeah, I mean, I don't know who that is, but cool stuff, man. GH is next, and almost a homage to the old days with that GK logo, since many of their players previously were from GK. GH, however, Gaje, Little Boy, Morant, Neru, Skyfall, Hetien, Momoka. So this is the reason why Skyfall is not coaching B4U. Skyfall is competing. A lot of people wish and think that GH is gonna win. I am unfortunately not one of those people. There's definitely a good roster. I still think FT is gonna win, frankly. And the reason why is because I'm not so high on their hunters right now. Hetchi and Momoka last season, was it? They were getting. I think Momoka got absolutely cooked by Sky in last Koa. Now, I think maybe things have changed. I know Momoka just came. I'm not sure if Momoka's still in China or just came out of China. But he was in China sometime this year. So, there's that. Not sure if it would have done anything. But maybe Momoka will be stepping up. Maybe Hetien will be stepping up. Still not too high on them though. And as for their survivors, I mean, they're good. They're good survivors. I played against them. I'm not gonna be trash talking their survivors. I've gotten far escaped by these survivors before. So I'm not gonna be talking smack about their survivors. Their survivors are great. Maybe Gaje, cause I've seen the levels that Gaje has thrown some matches. But I don't think he's gonna be the main survivor anyways. Unless for some reason someone between Neru Little Boy is gonna sub out for Gache, which I think if they do that would be one of the worst decisions this team has ever done. So they probably won't. But yeah, Little Boy, Moran, Neru, Skyfall, solid survivors. Hetchin, Momoka, I'm a bit iffy about. Return is next. This is I like to call this modern day noir just because. Well, to be fair, first off, Baby Top came from Noir, if I remember, Noir Squared. Noir 2, Noir Squared, not really sure how you call it anymore. But second of all, because from what I've heard, this team is multi-regional. There's Vietnamese players, there's a Laotian, is it Laotian or Laotian? But like someone from Laos in this roster, there's a Malaysian in this roster. Brother, they are multi-regional. All right, and we thought in Southeast Asia that was a dead concept. So glad that it's still alive. Glad that it still exists. Baby Top, Lightning 6, Vivian, Jala, Yuzupon, Big Nook. Definitely, since they're in the upper bracket with, I think it was 4AW, ST, and I'm not even sure who the other team is. Oh, 4T, the one with 6, 7. But considering that they have those players, they should be like I think they're my second favorite to win, at least among all of the other teams in that bracket. Jala should be a pretty serviceable hunter at the very least. And the survivors are pretty. Are they pretty decent? I don't know. They're pretty okay. Actually, I won't even say pretty decent. They're good. I've lost to these survivors before, but it never felt like it was like really losing. It felt like I just lost because I was stupid. So I'm not too high on their survivors, but they're still decent survivors, honestly. And then I think this is the last roster, ST. Dude, the only person that is familiar in this roster is Titan, because Titan is an oldie, man. One of the older players. I cannot tell you who some of these people are. Irie Forest, Branya from Honkai, Krabby, Daniel. Someone here is named Daniel, and Handsome Boy. I don't know who's in this roster other than Tai Tian, and Tai Tian's solid. So I have no comments for this roster. Um, but yeah, ST is also there. So well, I don't really think they're gonna be winning though. And again, for that roster, wait, where's the brackets here? Yeah, here it is. For their roster and for who I think is gonna win, I think it's gonna be FT, and it's gonna be 4AW. If GH, I think that the hard part, of course, is the lowers. Um, a lot of people, it's really interesting. Not a lot of people are high on AR. Don't sleep on this team. A lot of people think that if whoever wins between FTGH is gonna be the team that's gonna make it. It is not that simple, man. AR is just as good as those two teams right now. That is from the remnants of. It wasn't called AR. That went in the. It wasn't called another team, but like that is the remnants of the runner-up team in IVT. So it is not a bad roster at all. AR is a really solid roster. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on AR. 4AW is definitely gonna be winning top. Not entirely sure how 6-7 is gonna be carrying this team. Maybe he'll kite 6-7 seconds, man. Maybe. Gotta keep the consistency. But yeah, that is the Southeast Asia and the EU brackets. Let's go over, by the way, Japan real quick. I'm gonna go over who I think is gonna qualify because I'm a bit confused as to how the brackets works. Bronya, man, he's gonna action advance everybody. God forbid. Bronya has a TikTok. Someone just told me Bronya has a TikTok. And the Titan is a survivor player, and he's playing Hunter. Not entirely sure how factual that is. We're not gonna get into that anymore. Let's go into AWG. So AWG, one of the teams that had a very different roster. The main differences is now Keserabi is I'm gonna guess their substitute here. Could also be their fourth. Maybe not gonna be Scorpion playing. Is this? I didn't even know that AWG changed their survivors. Or am I tripping? Is this just someone else, but like they just changed their name? Because I didn't even hear news of I heard the news of AWG dropping one of their hunters, which was who was it again? Who was it again, man? I gotta check my notes, but I saw that I was like, statistically it was a good change because I remember that Yuhahina was having a great season, but I didn't even remember. I didn't remember hearing them dropping a survivor, man. Oh, Namiko. Wait, they dropped Namiko? What? Am I tripping? They dropped Namiko? Huh? When did this happen? What? Is Namiko Keserabi? Or what? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, I did my research. Namiko is having to focus on studies. So that is the reason why he's not on playing for them, which is a downgrade for their survivors. Namiko was a solid survivor. Not sure who Keserabi is. So I'm a bit iffy on that. Yundo, yeah, I've heard positive. I've heard positive things about Yun. Great player. I've seen him. I think I've seen him like top 100 in the leaderboards. Though albeit like just about everyone every hunter pickup from the IGL teams have all been in the top 100. I think actually no, I lied. I think just about every hunter in general in Japan right now that's playing for Koa is in the top 100. But yeah, AWG. I mean, it's an upgrade to their hunters in my opinion. I mean, Bronto was not having the greatest of seasons, unfortunately. I have to just keep it real. I don't think statistically he was doing that well. Especially when you're comparing it to Yuka's stats, who was doing absolutely amazing. So I think there was a change that needed to be made. And I guess also yeah, Brontel also left. Um, but yeah, I think I think it's a good change though. I think it is a good change, honestly. So yeah, I don't know who Kasarabi is though, so I have no comment on that. Though not having Namiko is not gonna be that great for them. I'm not sure how I feel about AWG's survivors right now because Namiko was pretty solid. I don't think their issue had been survivors ever, so having to make that adjustment not gonna be great for them, honestly. Axis Wave is next. Lim having to replace Tuna because Tuna went on a temporary hiatus. Do I think this will matter? I think kind of. But in a sense, I don't think Lim is gonna be playing. Right? Most likely Mono P is gonna be playing. But it's also interesting because did they know Tuna was gonna go on leave? Was this like a sudden? Because seemingly what happened, if I remember, it was that Mono P was playing in the early half of autumn. And then kind of midway through the IVL autumn season, Mono P was benched, and then they put Takako back in. Which is okay, I guess, question mark. Not really sure how to feel about it. But I don't know how that would look like in terms of like I guess they could will Mono P go back to playing something like an arrow? Will he take the Tunis character pool? Because I remember RC Mono P did play the arrow. I'm not sure about the puppet, but at least he played the arrow playlist. So it makes sense maybe for Axis to just have Mono P, Nyan, Tahako, and Ato playing instead of having Lim, because I don't think Lim's played in a while. Definitely not played competitively in a while. So that would be kind of a risky thing to do if they let Lim play. But I wouldn't be surprised if that happens too. If they don't want to make force an adjustment on Tahako maybe. Though I think realistically Mono P is gonna just straight up start playing the characters that Tuna plays. Because he did have a history of playing those characters before. So as a puppet player in RC. Yeah, I'm referring to when that was before Anpi and Fuku got signed. Oh, so but he did play Arrow though, innit? I remember Mono P RC was, I swear to God, Mono P RC was Arrow playlist, unless I'm completely wrong in my memory right now. I might be. But yeah, gonna be interesting to see though. Wait, let me actually bring it up because I actually do have. Do I have stats on this? Never mind. I only have IVL ones. Whoops. Anyways, Mono P definitely played Arrow. Yeah. So yeah, I think likely that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna shift Mono P into playing Tuna's characters for the time being, because Mono P was, I think, playing the rescuer role before he got benched for Tahako. So that's likely the case. Otherwise, though, not much to really say about here. Yeah, Andre plays Arrow now for RC, which is kind of an upgrade. I'll actually get into this later when we talk about. I think it's actually the next team, DFM. Yeah, DFM. Okay, I was a bit worried about this team initially, when it was released that they were gonna lose, Nerisu, because I don't think Nerusu was really that bad of a player for this team. Um, I was a bit like iffy also with Chicken getting removed. I wasn't too like against it, mostly because like I don't know. I wouldn't say it was a bad thing, or I wouldn't say it's a good thing. By the way, sorry, I wouldn't say that Chicken being removed was a good thing, but like also like like it was kind of like it wasn't like an AWG situation where if let's say AWG lost Yukakina instead of Bronto, that might have been a bit more problematic. But like they actually got a pretty decent replacement for Chicken. MZK is seemingly a really good player. Albeit what I've noticed about this guy, yeah, just left for school. That seems to be the case for a lot of the players that have left though recently as well. But MZK seemingly one trick peddler. At least that's what I saw. So like are they like going like Fennel route where it's like round one PP Cha like peddler in the first round and then just have Yami played second third or something? Like is that their strategy? Like I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean my concern primarily when DFM announced their roster, the players leaving the roster, it's like they lost Nerisu and I was like it's not great. I didn't like that they lost Nerisu. But wow, to get Vanny, man, to get Vanny is diabolical. I feel like there was not a player, like, out of all the players they could have gotten, genuinely crazy that Vanny was up for pickup. Cause Vanny, what I've heard, like from like ever since IJL tryouts, I've heard nothing but good things about Vanny's playstyle. And when you look at like teams like RC and Zeta, what you begin to notice is that the best teams just have really good harassers. Vanny is one of those players. So genuinely, I would say like DFM had great roster moves. Especially since like some of the people leaving, like especially like Nerusu just leaving, that was a tough one, man. Like it could have really gone south. But like I look very this roster looks very positive for me. I really like this roster that's coming from DFM, and I would be a bit worried for like Fennel especially. Who's probably the one at risk of maybe not qualifying among the other three between SZ and Axis. Was it? It is. Wait, I have to double check that actually. The brackets is like we gotta check that. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Axis is Fennel together. I'm tripping then. But oh wow, Axis and damn. Okay, I had to double check that. What the? That's crazy, actually. But anyways, I really like this roster. That's really say I really like this roster. Fennel, not much changes. 520 was dropped. I'm not sure if 520 was dropped or 520 was left the team. Not really much of anything. He was already a bench player. He wasn't playing for the team. And Fennel, I mean, he was a good player, but I don't think Fennel could really use him to the extent that he could be played. They kept putting him in airplanist. Don't think that was really working back in KOA 8. So it's kind of just unfortunate circumstances, man. I feel like he could have done better if he was in like any other team. But yeah, Fennel just did not need him at that moment. But yeah, I mean, this roster's still just about the same. QT Dig. Pen DK is here. Great stuff, actually. Pen DK being here is amazing stuff. Pen DK is a really solid up, honestly. Kind of sucks though that I think it was Emu as well as Nak that is now gone for this team. And also you begin to realize, like, when you look at like QTD, right, and also you look at DFM, who did they lose in their survivors? They lost their harasser. Nak was an archer, Arrowman, and then Enchan as well. And then DFM, Nerisu was also playing archer, if I remember. And I think Anti. So like you can really see that the changes that are being made are always going to be the harassers because in this meta, um, the best teams will have the best harassers. That is what it takes to be a championship level team. Yeah, that is what it takes to be a championship level team. PenDK is a harasser that is supposedly going to take Nax's place. Terra, I'm not sure who this is. Of course, I mean, great stuff, great survivor changes. I mean, of course, the issue is still their hunters. Irohasu Kotami, can they compete at this level? That's always been the question. Statistically, they have not been great. Statistically, they have been at the lows, man. They have been at the lows. Okay. Kotami is barely hanging on. Irohasu, I think, has fell off so hard as time flied by. So, not sure how to feel about that. Yeah, RC Zeta also having two of the best harassers as well, by the way. Yeah, I mean that is what it takes to be a championship level team. I guess which roster last autumn made like one of the highest jumps? It was Fennel, right? Fennel went from like the second worst team to placing fourth. Was it fourth or fifth? I think it was should have been fifth, but they placed fourth. And guess what they did? They took sorry, what's his name now? They took Katsuki in, and he was insane for this team. So like, really, you can see how that those players typically impact the game. Or sorry, not Katsuki, but like, actually Katsuki was a big part of Fennel winning though. Kat was the harasser, but also like, I think it's because Katsuki was playing the arrow too, and he was just cooking so hard. I remember first week, he was like going crazy with it. I remember there was a clip Moonlit River Park was in on with him playing arrow. I forgot it was him or not. It was like an arrow Moonlit. And I was like, yeah, this guy's crazy good. Anyways, let's move away from that. Let's go to BC. Old team, man. This team still exists. Damn. Honestly. I'm surprised they're still competing at a high level. I think there's some changes here, though. I think this is the first time I'm seeing Ego in this roster. Not sure if he was here before. And they're I think, no, I'm pretty sure that's the same hunters. Not too high on this team. UK as well. I think UK, Yomi. Is that Yomi? Yami. But like 4-1. I'm gonna call it Yami 41. Pretty okay roster. I'm not the highest on it, but I think a lot of players might have some feelings towards this team, especially since BC has always been consistently up there. Albeit I can't lie, I'm not so familiar with some of these players now. So yeah, there's that. Zero Last Zero, I don't know who that is. I just don't know who some of these people are. I cannot lie, man. I cannot lie. Moving forward, BIG. Okay, this one is probably one of the best teams. One of the best non-professional teams. I've already made fan art for him, and I'm the first fan artist for him. getting ahead of the trend. Fucking love it, man. I really hope the best for him too. But I mean, going back, this is definitely one of the best teams. Starting first, Alpha, who was, I think he was in a GM2, Great Magic Second, back in ICC Volume 2, which happened sometime in the middle of last year. And he was also, I think, part of Chem at the end of this year. Not entirely sure if they won. I forgot, actually. I can't lie. But, I mean, that's pretty decent. Nicosia, Pinota, some of the most memorable players from former, or sorry, not former, not sure if they've disbanded again, but Team Stillwater. So Nicosia has always been one of my favorite players. So glad, because I don't think this is his first time he's making it finally to KOA qualifiers. So I'm glad to see him. Pinota also here, so amazing stuff. Kokuryu, I believe, was a big part of. I'm also checking my notes as I speak. Kokuryu was a big part of TND in that same tournament, which was ICL last at the end of last year, and he's also really really good. Of course, Rose is also part of the Rose and Hamu are actually part of TND as well, along with Kokuryu, and Rose was a former Axis hunter. So there's that. There comes with that experience. So there's that, and Molly Fantasy. I mean, he's the coach. Molly F. Sucks that he's only a coach. I want to see him play, but yeah, I mean, this team is one of the best, man. This team is one of the best out of the non-professional teams. I'd be surprised if they. I think they're up. It's kind of sucks because I think they're up against both Axis and. Was it Axis and. I know they're up against Axis. Where is the brackets, man? Yeah, Axis and Finale. So they genuinely got. They genuinely got cooked this stream. Or they got cooked by the brackets. But I think they have a good chance of maybe like upsetting them. But yeah, we move on. So of course, Access Scars? Was it Access Scars? Am I tripping? Is it not a Finale? I showed Finale. It said Finale. Yeah, Finale. Okay. Oh, Yuri versus Scars. Oh yeah, that happened. And AWG versus Brontal and Narisu, if this is the case. That is the main thing I can talk about this team, is Narisu and Brontal. That actually is very much it. As well as this NLKU. I don't know how to pronounce that. Not sure how good he is competitively. I see this guy on Twitter every damn time though, so he must be really good or something. Gonna be interested to see how Brontal performs. Gonna be interested to also see how Narisu performs against their old teams. That would be a match worth watching. So there's that. We now move to Cricket Eater. Not familiar with these players. So the concept of Brontal Narisu, I mean, I think they were I mean, it had to happen. I don't think Narisu was gonna be retiring anytime soon. So there's that. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm more curious about Brontal, to be honest. I think Narisu's gonna do pretty fine. CE. I don't know who these people are. I think this might be like the players from like Valve Rave back again in ICC, was it? Or sorry, not ICC, ICL. But I'm not sure. I don't know who these people are. I really cannot tell you, man. No clue. So I have no comments for this team. Bro, what is that name? Minor Dreamers? What does that even mean? Anyways, Dango. I don't think that's the main guy that's worth mentioning here. I think the main guy is Nishida X, who was I believe he's one of the two finalists in that for Team Zero Eclipse, again a team during ICL end of last year. So worth mentioning that as well. Not sure who all the rest of the people are though. So there's that. And then I think this might be the last one. Yeah. NGS. They're back. Of course, it's just about the same thing. I think the only difference is like the survivors of you do have Yuki P and Yuri. I know a lot of people are focused on Yuri, but Yuki P, man. Shout out Yuki P. he is still up and kicking. I heard so many. I remember back then I was hearing so much stuff about Yuki P going into IGL, and it just like never happened. So hopefully he gets a chance to show for it, that he can compete at that level. Koala, I think, also was part of XN. So that was a team again. I think that was a team with Ash, if I correctly remember, and I think it was also. Let me actually just check really quick. Where is QTD, man? What the? Why is QTD's roster missing? Here we go. Yeah, it was the same roster with Pendike. So this guy, Koala, was part of the same roster as Pendike, if I remember, back in ICL, which again happened end of last year. Nashi, what are your thoughts on the Asian game team roster for Philippines and Taiwan? I don't even know. I saw the RD one. Taiwan was RD. Don't even know who the people are in like the Philippines, man. I don't know what to tell you. But if this is the same, yeah, this should. But this Koala should be the same one from the XN team with Ash and Pendike. And that's pretty much it for Japan. And I guess I'll also go briefly into the Korean rosters, because I actually followed Korea. Let me look at the brackets first, though. Actually, it doesn't really matter, because they're all going to be facing each other. So, it's just one qualifiers. Okay. So, I'll start first by saying I don't know who these people are in this first roster. Not a great start. Why is there someone named Wasabi? Also, is that supposed to be avocado? Or avodoka? Damn. Okay. We move on to the next one. I also don't know who these people are. Freak. I thought I was gonna be able to give some insight. Clearly none, because I still don't know who these people are. So flip, man. Blue DJ Eugene 1 Rome. Wasn't there someone named Peru in the last one? Now there's Rome. God. We're naming places here. Alright. I'm also getting my info. But yeah, I mean, okay, there's that. Middle Monster. Who are these people? It's so funny. I'm like, we're going through this, and it's just me saying, who are these people, man? Because frankly, who are these people? who are these people, man? Someone tell me. Tell me who these people are. Navi City. Oh my god, again, I don't know who these people are. And then Pororon. Okay, this one I know. Soul Trap Saber. All of these players, I believe, are in Caspa Cup. PHR, I'm not sure about the rest. But yeah, I mean, team worth looking out for. I think PRR can be a pretty decent team. I don't think Trap plays meta though, so there's that. QOQ. Okay, Pit Zero is was also in what do you call this? Was also in Caspa Cup. OVO is the same OVO from ZZZ. It was. Wait, sorry, was it ZZZ? I think it was. But then you also have CU, Ego, basically from Team TVT, was it? In Caspa Cup, most of these players. So there's that as well. Team POQ. Now I think this is the team that won the Caspa Cup, if I remember. I will check it again. But yeah, this team is actually really solid when I saw it. Boss Elbow, Levi Pern. And interesting, Repa? Like AN Repa? I'm not sure if it's the same guy. Would be very interesting if this is AN Repa playing. And if it is AN Repa, then I would probably put this as the favorites to win. So there's that. And Yun won. Daru, which is from Stillwater, shout out. Neko as well is a pretty decent player. I'm not entirely sure about the rest of these players though. And that is pretty much it. If you want my predictions for that, yeah, POQ is probably winning this one. Is that POQ PQ? Brother, why is the they made it so confusing. PQQ rather. It says AN Repa actually. Now I have to check. Now I have to check my notes. No, it is AN Repa, right? I thought that guy retired. Wait, I'm going through Repa's Twitter right now. It's happening off stream, unfortunately. Would be interesting if it is Repa. The guy hasn't posted in months. Okay, so the answer is we don't know. Which team do you think will be the dark horse this Koa? Good question. That's a good question. I'm thinking of a good answer for that. I think whoever qualifies in that death bracket between FT, GH, AR, AL is gonna be the dark horse. For me, the reason why is because a lot of people are really low on Southeast Asia right now, but this is coming from an IVS result where FT had a majority of its players missing, and so I think it's disingenuous to like say that like FT is gonna be worse than like B4U or anything of the sort, especially when like that team didn't have its best players. So I think people are a bit low on like what do you call this? People are a bit low on the on Southeast Asia as a region right now, but I think they have the capacity to just really come in and crush it if given the opportunity. So I think they're one of the dark horses. For this, I think if we're gonna talk about the regions, I haven't seen the non-CN pro teams. Actually, sorry, I did see them, but I'm not entirely sure who's in the rosters. But for the Japan non-pro teams, I definitely think that if given the right, if they get the right opportunities here, BIG has a really good chance of qualifying and becoming a dark horse in Call of the Abyss. The only problem is being up against Axis and Fennel really puts them in a precarious spot because those two were favored to qualify. So it's not going to be great having to face those teams. But I think they have the capacity to qualify if they could, like if Fennel throws, because I think Fennel's capable of throwing, or if Axis can't really get the adjustment right without Tuna. I think it's very possible. Anyways, there is that. Actually, really curious. I think we can wait. Oh yeah, look at Vanny. Shout out Vanny. But I'm gonna put this here for now. Let me see if I can find the roster for both the Philippines and Taiwan, like the names. For Taiwan, or Chinese Taipei rather, Um, they seemingly do not have the names. Question mark? It's a bit confusing, but it's RD basically. That is confirmed. It's confirmed to be RD. So, for sure, it's RD. But I don't know who's gonna be playing for them this time around. So time will tell. For the Philippines though, it's fucking hilarious because I'm Filipino and I have no clue who some of these players are. Actually, who all of these players are. Who are these people, man? Let me look at it. I think it was Honazam who posted something about it. We can check that right now. Oh. Because I did see that the other time. I also saw it in, like, some chats. It was here, was it? Let's go here. Oh, here it is, I think. Yeah. So, what is it saying? Philippine Esports Association, Cebol Esports has announced. So this is, I think, I mean, I'm guessing this is the Philippines because it's PHI, man. But yeah, I mean, I don't know who these people are. I don't know. And I'm a Filipino, man. Who are these people? Who is representing my country? Like, it's hilarious. Am I an IDVCC? I am actually an IDVCC. Shout out, by the way, IDVCC. So I get a lot of info from there. Thank you. But yeah. Oh, there was so funny because I forgot. I think I saw it like the official server of Identity V. But someone said this fifth guy looks like Hui, and I couldn't stop laughing when I heard it. Their legal names are out there. That is, oh yeah, I guess that's why I don't know. I don't know these people, so I'm not there. But who are these people, man? Like, I guess that's the reason why I don't know, because it's the legal names. Like, maybe if it was like their in-game stuff, like I would know, because I know like people in the Philippines with their in-games. But like, I heard yeah, I heard someone say, I'll see if I can find that chat. But I heard someone say that this fifth person looks like Filipino Hui. Like, who even makes these stuff up, man? It's so funny when I heard it. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, I mean, this is the team that's gonna represent my country, guys. I don't know who these people are. Yeah, that's terrifying too, man. Like, knowing the Japanese players, like their actual last names. What if they just like announce the last names and like they don't put the faces? So like it's just like a text. Like their announcement is just text of their last names. Like, brother, how are we supposed to know who's who? Oh, are you the same Yashi that's in IDVCC? Oh yeah, I am. My bad. I am indeed the same Nyashi. Hello. I am Nyashi, as by the way. That is my in-game name. But yeah, wait, if we can get Taiwan, can we get Taiwan? Can we get Chinese Taipei's roster here? Oh, this is also, by the way, I'm gonna put this up real quick. This is for China's qualifiers. X Team, ZS Lin, VRS, CJ, Dija, DF, XGT, Zoo, and IVCCC. Not entirely sure who some of these teams are. I am pretty well aware of the teams. ZS Lin has had a long history and somewhat controversial history. So has CJ. VRS is MRC's kind of second team almost, and X team is Weibo Gaming's coaching. You know. Oh, that's me. My name was on a Chad Goldman versus that guy. That's I don't. That's goofy as hell. But Zia's Lin, I heard Zia's Lin had trauma, bro. Zia's Lin had so much trauma. It's. I'm surprised this team can still compete. How did this team still make it, man? Sorry. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream now because I still need to eat dinner. I need to get my meds and stuff. But yeah, because Hala is overrated, guys. Hala, I'll never understand people who like Hala. Hala is overrated, man. Hala is so overrated. Don't use Hala, guys. That comes from me. Anyways, again, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm kind of sick. I don't know if I'll make a video about this, a much more in-depth video. This is kind of just initial impressions of the rosters. Let's see if I'm gonna make a video. I don't know. Depends on whether I goddamn get better, like within the next few days. Cause right now I'm a bit sick still. It's actually he was so real. They hated him for it. But I still, you know, I still don't get. Look, I remember seeing a lot of tier lists recently. You know, one thing I don't get, man. It's when people were putting Goatman like below Opera, and I'm like, I play both, so I just don't agree, you know. I still think Goatman just has a lot of good stuff going for him. And he's so much more flexible. I feel like with Opera, I feel like you almost always need to bring Blink. But like with Goldman, you have Peepers, you have Excitement. You can still bring Blink if you want. Abnormal is possible. Opera is, I mean, I guess you could bring Abnormal maybe. Like maybe, but like it's very unoptimal almost. It's like if you're doing that, there's such a big trade-off. I don't think that's the case for Goldman. I'm still like the number one Goldman believer, man. You know, maybe we'll make a tier list next time. Maybe it'll happen. Why is so many people watching now that I'm gonna end the stream? It's saying that 10 people are watching. Can I end the stream? Can I please end the stream, man? I still need to eat dinner. I still need to eat food, guys. It's 8 p.m. here. Goldman isn't worth the bet. I know it's what you know. You know what's so funny? I know exactly who you're referring to, but I'm not gonna say who it is. I know exactly who you're referring to. I know exactly who said that. There's I remember seeing it on Twitter. I'm like, you're tripping, right? You're just lying now. Let me tell you now. Maybe Goldman is so worth the ban. Please ban him, man. But yeah, we don't speak on that. We don't talk about that. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion and stuffs. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I mean, I actually don't know how much players in NAE play Goldman, but at least for us, a lot of people do. So a lot for Southeast Asia, a lot of people do. For Japan, maybe a bunch of people do. It depends. I think there's just a lot of people in general, so you might just see more one tricks. But a lot of people in Southeast Asia do, man. You don't ban Goldman, you're gonna see Goldman. Anyways, I better stop delaying, because I do need to eat dinner. Thank you guys so much for joining. I will be ending the stream. Oh, what the? I will be ending the stream. How do I end the stream? What the hell? All right. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna see you guys. Bye.